Oh, and by the way, refusing to be sworn in, that's not an admission of guilt. If anything, by going ahead and pointing out that same line of how things would end up going, uh, actually that ends up showing the court the factor that you're showing more faith and good faith. That you've also been paying attention and noticed the deceptive means of which to attempt to fabricate and falsify a narrative in an attempt to jumpstart a prosecutorial procedure in bad faith in an attempt to go ahead and, you know, finish the job that attempted contractual entrapment, you know. Keep in mind, too, by the way, the IRS has the statements of the actual filings. So, you know, understand. There's not much that I could give that the government don't already know. All right. But you know what the funniest thing is? Imagine trying to start an entire judicial procedure by trying to claim this outlandish bullshit. You know, because the funny thing is, if you look at the point at the start of everything, yeah, when I was in life support, you know, the whole ventilator, that whole factor and all that. Funniest thing is that point in time, you know, the allegations being made. Well, I was in that situation, security surveillance cameras on me, you know, actual security detail as well as law enforcement, security detail doubling up between the hospitals as well as law enforcement. You know, and that's surveillance camera. I mean, there are a lot of angles to end up going ahead and catching quite a bit on video. You know, smile, you're on candid camera. But imagine trying to claim, all right, like trying to set up a scenario to try to set up a perjury trap, all right? When meantime, the literal inception and start of the investigation, like the time frame, ends up showing where were you at the time. Beeps and squiggles were my translator. I was on life support. So imagine trying to coerce a confession that during the apparent quote unquote crime that went on and tried to, you know, force a statement and all that, even tried to force legal proceedings. Well, meantime, my alibi is the actual law enforcement as well as hospital security as well as the surveillance camera at said hospital, all going ahead and corroborating, you know, the time of accusation, location, and, initial time of, claims of was somewhere doing this. All because you wanted to go ahead and try to fucking, play internet sleuth. Understand, that'll cause the Department of Justice to gain a loss. That'll go ahead and get your local community to go ahead and be pretty pissed off. That goes and ends up going ahead and causing either a mistrial or an ineffective counsel, a verdict overall. Not to mention that, but doing that ends up going ahead and proving prosecutorial misconduct as well as procedural misconduct, like the ignoring the statute of limitations, as well as, the attempted weaponization of, using as the basis in an attempt to start litigatory procedures, your entire evidence load actually being a file that had been ordered by the courts in numerous different jurisdictions to go ahead and be sealed due to the factor of being a minor. Like literally wanting to attempt to litigate. And keep in mind, When that happened, I did what I was required to do. I did my community service. I did my probation. I passed every drug test. I went and did everything that I could to get my life back on track. So, ultimately, what you're saying there is that people are not allowed to grow and mature from the point of a kid. So please, make that a, jurisdictional ruling. Because that's going to be the whole factor. Because, the whole double jeopardy factor. Like actually trying to attempt to, for a third time, a person of civil liberties? Shit. That second time was really difficult for the Department of Justice to be able to pull off. That third one? Oh, that third one's going to be fucked. Like, that third one is going to be national news. All day, every day.